Ayo, what's up? Welcome back din sa ating channel. It's Bobs TV. Alright, so tayo nagbabalik-balik mga kababayan at eto, pag-usapan natin, no? Ito pong isang napakatinding pasabog ng ating magiting na Senator Panfilo Lacson, mga kababayan. No, grabe tong mga kanyang ibinunyag dito, mga kababayan. At alam nyo, ako naaawa talaga. No, actually matagal ko na sinasabi na nakakaawa yung ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. No, dahil sobrang bait po niya, mga kababayan. No, sa sobrang kabaitan niya ay inaabuso po siya. Yan po palagi, mga kababayan, yung palagi nating sinasabi. Lalong-lalo na dito sa mga, alam nyo na, no, bumabanat sa kanya palagi. Dumating pa sa punto na pinagbabantaan siya, no, ng mga tao na kung sino-sino pa diyan, no, dahil nga sinimulan 'di ba, ni VP Sara Duterte, no, at yun na, alam na natin na nagpalusot nga po siya, 'di ba? Nagsunuran ngayon yung mga DDS na pinagbabantaan din, no, ang ating Pangulo. O, nasa na sila ngayon? Mga nakakulong na. Alam nyo, mga kababayan, lagi nating sinasabi na, lagi nating hinihimok, no, yung ating Pangulo na sana minsan sagutin niya rin itong mga tao na to. Sana minsan magalit din siya. No, makita nating nagagalit, no, yung Pangulo. Actually, marami pong matuwa, no? Kung makikita na magagalit ang ating Pangulo, mga kababayan. No, kasi napakatahimik niya sa kabila ng mga aligasyon, sa kabila ng mga ginagawa, no, laban dito sa ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, yung mga pagtatangkang tanggalin siya sa pwesto, wala siyang ginagawa. Napakatahimik niya. Trabaho lang siya ng trabaho. Hinahayaan niya yung mga tao niya na kumilos. No, pero sa kabila po niyan, mga kababayan, na pilit niyang gustong pagandahin ng gobyerno, ang administrasyon, merong mga tao, mga kababayan, no, na talaga namang inaabuso po yung kabaitan ng ating Pangulo. Okay, so ito po ngayon, itong isang matinding pasabog ni Senator Lacson, mga kababayan, no, makikita natin kung ano yung mga ginawa po, no, nakahindik-hindik, mga kababayan. Nakakakilabot, nakakarimarim yung mga ginawa ng mga tao na to, no, dito sa mabait nating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Okay, so panoorin natin to sabay-sabay, mga kababayan. Right? Let's go.
You're thinking, Mr. President, sundan ko na rin ang question. Ano ba yung percentage share sa ating economy ng government spending? How many percent? Government spending. That's in the vicinity of 16-17%, Your Honor. More.
I'll just answer first the last question of Senator Lacson. Government spending is about 25% of our economy, Mr. President. 25. So one-fourth of our economy comes from government spending.
Household consumption, ilang percent?
Senator Recto requested to break down. So the 25%, if you break it down, the 21% comes from national government.
That's the budget.
That's the budget that we are appropriating. 1% comes from the LGUs and another 2% comes from the GOCC. So more or less mga around 24-25%.
Yeah, pero sa infra spending, ilang percent of the...
About 5 to 6%, Mr. President. In the past. But in the next year, Mr. President, we talked about this yesterday. It's about 4.7%, Mr.
Of the entire, of the whole pie, ano?
Yes, of the whole pie.
Okay.
Tama ho.
So
bababa ho tayo next year because of what's happening.
That's
Mr.
still substantial, ano?
Yeah.
Dahil kung 5%, tapos slow down tayo sa infra, medyo malaki rin yung effect sa ating economy. And what could be the factors
are contributing to the slowdown in infra spending? Of course, we know the answer, ano? Dahil nga nag-iingat yung government ngayon dahil doon sa mga anomalies na nararanasan natin this quarter in the recent weeks, ano? But Mr. President, let me deviate a little, ano? Related din ito sa ating unused appropriations, no? Gusto ko lang ibahagi sa atin, ano, yung nangyari do sa, and this affects our economy, even yung investor confidence. You know, I have it on good information that yung announcement na ginawa, yung statement na ginawa ni ex-Congressman Saldico, ano, na nagbintang siya na 100 billion, sinasabi niya na utos daw ng Pangulo na isingit sa BICAM. Your Honor and I both know that the 100 billion, and we went over, I know na, both of us went through the list, ano, independently or separately. And you and I agree na totoo yung listahan ng 100 billion pesos. Talaga nasingit sa BICAM. But yung sinasabi ni Saldico on social media as posted, na nag-deliver siya ng 25 billion representing the 25% commission di umano para kay Presidente, that I will attest na hindi totoo. No? Yun talaga absolutely untrue or false. Ano? Untrue or completely false. Why? Because, you know, last Sunday, I received a call from the camp of former Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo. Ang sinasabi niya, noong nakita niya si Saldico sa social media na nagsasabing merong 100 billion di umano inutos ng Pangulo na isingit sa BICAM, napag-alaman ko from Undersecretary Bernardo na may mga tao sa Malacanang, no, not the President, not authorized by the President, who misrepresented him. Oh. I will name some of them. Ano? Undersecretary Adrian Bersamin. He name-dropped the President, making Saldico believe na utos ng Pangulo na ipasok sa BICAM yung insertions na 100 billion.
Ito yung sinasabi natin ng nakaraan, mga kababayan, na posible, no, na yung pong insertions na yan ay hindi, no, ang Pangulo ang nag-utos. Posible na ibang tao po yung gumalaw dyan po sa insertions na yan. Posibleng ibang tao na ginamit lamang yung pangalan ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Diba? Yan yung sinasabi natin. Kasi, diba, kay Saldico na mismo nang galing eh. Paano daw masasabi ng ating Pangulo na hindi niya alam, no, yung mga budget na yun? Diba? At nagtaka rin tayo na sa 100 billion na sinasabi niya, nagbito yung Pangulo natin ng 190 billion. Mas malaki yung binito niya kaysa doon sa sinasabi ni Saldico. Diba? So dito, makikita natin, no, na meron talagang tao na ginagamit, no, yung pangalan ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Yun yung masakit dun eh. Diba? Nagtiwala yung Pangulo natin sa kanila, nagagawin nila na maayos ang kanilang trabaho, pero ganito yung kanilang ibabalik o isusukli sa ating Pangulo. Diba? Yun yung masakit dun, mga kababayan. Diba?
Now, Yusek Traigib Olaybar.
Nako.
Other personalities. Anyway, regarding the 100 billion, binrake down, kasi nireview niyo yung kanyang notes, ano? This is all related even to the appointment of Secretary Recto to be the Executive Secretary. As he is now the acting, I guess acting kasi hindi naman pwede magbigay ng ad interim appointment because Congress is not in recess, di ba? So, okay. Anyway, ang sabi niya sa akin, hindi po totoo yan, Mr. Senator. Kasi ang breakdown ng 100 billion, 81 billion, yun yung na-assign sa DPWH. Yung 29 billion, other agencies. Hindi niya alam. Out of the 81 billion or out of the 100 billion, yung sa 81 billion, 52 billion, siya ang personal na nag-handle. Ako po nag-handle nun. Nasa notes niya, ito yung kanyang table, binigay niya ako ng kopya. 51.01, I think almost 52 billion. Anyway, so 52 billion, yun yung personal hinandle niya. And talagang sabi niya, naghatid ako ng pera as kickback. But not to the President, but to Yusek Olaybar.
No.
And sabi niya, ang pagkaalam niya, kasama si Yusek Adrian Bersamin. 8 billion pesos, Mr. President. In at least 10 deliveries. The modus that yung arrangement nila is, may tig-isa silang armored van. May armored van si Yusek Olaybar, may armored van siya, magpapark sa basement ng Diamond Hotel, darating yung van driven by Olaybar, and possibly, sabi niya, hindi siya sigurado, and possibly along with Adrian Bersamin. Bakante yung armored van, ipapark, idadrive yung isang van na puno ng pera. Ranging from 800 million hanggang 2 billion. Umabot ng 2 billion only because sometime in March, yung kanyang date na sinasabi from, I think, March hanggang April, yung delivery. Very good nga raw siya, sabi ni Yusek Olaybar, kasi nakakapag-deliver. Ang biggest kasi naipon, because March 11, natatandaan niya, inaapuran niya na si Undersecretary Olaybar, nakunin na kasi napupuno na at saka matagal na nakapark. Ang sabi niya, sabi ni Olaybar sa kanya, wag muna kasi magulo ngayon dahil inaaresto si dating Pangulong Duterte. So naipon yung laman ng van, sabi niya, mga 2 billion pesos. That was the single largest or biggest delivery that he made to Olaybar. Kung saan napunta,
no?
hindi natin alam. But personally, he knows or he knew that, kasi personally, nagpapalit sila, amounting to 8 billion pesos. 1 billion, he delivered to Secretary Bonoan. So that's 9 billion. Yung 8 billion was representative of 16% of the 81 billion or 82 billion. Ang usapan daw nila initially was 15%, Mr. President. Tumawad pa raw ng 1% si Olaybar, pero suspecha niya, natatawa raw siya dahil para sa sarili na lang ni Olaybar yung additional 1%. Kaya mabot siya ng 16%. 1 billion to Secretary Bonoan. Siya mismo nagbigay. So he was asking for my advice. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, can you put it...
Grabe yung no? Billion na, mga babayan. Hindi na milyon-milyon yung pinag-uusapan dito. Bilyones na, mga babayan.
In your own handwriting. And I'll see to it that it will reach the President. Isipan mo. But I took notes. When he was narrating what he was about to write down, I was taking notes together with my 2 lawyers. He was also with his lawyer. So, and that happened. The President received the handwritten narration. No? Ang sabi niya nga rito, ito, meron akong notes dito eh. Sabi niya, last quarter ng 2025, most likely during the last days of October or early November 2025, 2020, ano to? Last quarter. Yusek Trigib requested for list of projects. Siya nagpe-prepare eh. Of course, along with Yusek Cabral, kasi si Undersecretary Cabral naman, ang tinatas ni Secretary Bonoan, na mag-prepare na listahan. Ito nga yung awkward, Mr. President, and we want to correct this. Bakit nauna yung funding, saka palang maghahanap ng items? Hindi po ba dapat may items nanggaling sa RDC bago po podohan? Complete with program report, complete with planning. Pero ito po, nauna pa yung pagpopondo, saka palang hahanapan ng items na ililista sa NEP. Remember, bukod pa po ito, dahil ito, gaan na ito eh, BICAM na ito eh. And mind you, even during the NEP, anyway, mamaya ako na itakil yun. Ito yung sinabi niya rito. No? Ito, sinabi niya na si Trigib Olaybar prevented him from disclosing details on the 52 billion to Secretary Bonoan, ayaw pasabi raw, Mr. President. Tapos, sinabihan siya ni Yusek Traigib Olaybar na si Secretary Bonoan asked Executive Secretary Bersamin several times, sino ba magpapacilitate itong 52 billion? Of course, isasama sa BICAM, paano ito re-release? Sino magpapacilitate? Ang sagot ni ES Bersamin sa kanya, we will take care of it. Sila na raw ang bahala kung paano ayusin yung 52 billion. Now, I'm not defending the President, Mr. President, but in fairness to him, yung list of projects, yung 100 billion, initially naka-FLR lahat yun eh. Pinapatrack ko ngayon sa aking staff kung ilan yung na-release out of the items on FLR or PISARO for issuance of SARO. Hindi pa namin alam. But initially, kasama sa nabito do sa 194 billion ng ating Pangulo, 1.15 billion pesos worth of projects. Andito yung listahan ng projects. Nilista rin ng, nakita ng mga staff ko ito, pero may listahan din si Bernardo nito. Kung alam ni Pangulo, at siya nag-utos na mag-insert ng 100 billion sa GAA, sa BICAM, bakit niya ibibito? Yan din ang observation ni Your Honor, di ba? Sabi niyo rin, because you also examined. While you were examining respecting the 2025 GAA, we were also busy inspecting. No, hindi naman tayo po nag-coordinate, but our findings are practically the same. Diba?
It's the same, Mr. President. The same.
Yeah, ito yung tatlong items na nabito. Saldico list vetoed items. GAA Volume 1C, page 849. Construction of Cruise Port and Facilities Package, Puerto Princesa City. 250 million. 800, page 822. Construction of Multipurpose Building, Government Center, Barangay Gadani, Tayum, Abra. Page 322, construction of riverbank structure including irrigation system, integration of along Polo River at Sitio Lawaan, upstream, right side, Mall Boal, Cebu, package 3, 100 million. Total, 1.15. Kung gusto kasi ng iba, paniwalaan natin na sa Pangulo ang nag-utos mag-insert. But it doesn't make sense to me, Mr. President. That's why I'm trying to explain this to our colleagues and to the members of the DBCC family para maliwanagan naman natin, and in the presence of the media, maliwanagan naman natin na hindi kasama ang Pangulo. Kasi, common sense. Siya nag-utos, ibibito niya. Siya nag-utos, i-FLR niya.
Interjection, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Just for clarity, the handwritten note and letter was given to the President yesterday.
As I think Monday, Mr. President. Yesterday.
And
At
thereafter,
2 p.m.
And thereafter, he asked
There were resignations.
He asked for the resignation.
In this case, Mr. President, courtesy resignation is a euphemism for firing.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Mr. President, the President is a very kind-hearted person. I would have suggested to the person who brought to the President or delivered to the President the handwritten narration of Mr. Bernardo. I would have suggested na tanggalin niya and then order an investigation. Otherwise, how can you insulate the President kung courtesy resignation? But that's water under the bridge because it did not happen, Mr. President. And I will still strongly suggest that an investigation is in order. Because, you cannot, just fool around and misrepresent the President of the Republic of the Philippines. No matter how kind-hearted he is, let's not take advantage. Yun po yung nakakasama ng loob. Ito pa yung
Totoo
aking
naman.
notes, di ba? Sinabi niya,
Actually, ano talaga yun, no? Nakakagalit nga actually. Kasi nga, ganun yung ginawa nila, no? Na napakabait ng Pangulo natin. Tapos, sasamantalahin nila, no? Yung kabaitan ng Pangulo natin. 'Di ba? Nakakagigil lang minsan, no?
narinig niya si Saldico. Ito, I heard Saldico's statement that he delivered 25 billion to President Marcos and Speaker Romualdez, representing the commitment for the 100 billion. This could not be true because I handled the 52 billion pesos and I caused the delivery of the commitment for the 52 billion to Yusek Traigib Olaybar. Personally, Mr. President. So let this be a lesson to everyone, no? To all of us. You know, sometimes kala mo lulusot ka. Pero sooner or later, it will catch up with you. Especially if you do it habitually. Who would know that the President would include in his SONA, mahiya naman kayo? Who would know that I and my staff would work after hearing the President's message on several case studies, Oriental Mindoro, First Bulacan District. Who would know that Senator Marcoleta would call for a motu proprio investigation in the Blue Ribbon Committee? Wala po nakakaalam nito. Para ito mga projections, wala makakapredict. These are, unpredictable variables that could explode right in our faces.
Anytime.
And it would be too late for those responsible to repent. Ang masama rito, Mr. President, apektado yung buong bansa eh.
Totoo yun.
Naglayo ang investors. Stock market is down. Yung po yung masakit dito. So, I'm appealing to our co-workers in government. I think we have reached the point na dapat isipin natin, enough is enough. I think I have made myself clear, Mr. President, that there are persons responsible.
Alright, so yung mga kababayan, no? So, dyan muna putulin natin itong sinabi ni Senator Lacson, mga kababayan. Pero dito, malinaw at klaro, no, na ginagamit, no, yung pangalan ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos para makakurakot. Especially, no, kung totoo man to, yung pang mga tao na malalapit sa kanya. Yung mga taong pinagkakatiwalaan niya. 'Di ba? Tapos yun ang aabuso sa kanya, mga kababayan. Mabuti na lang may mga tao diyan na kagaya nito, Senator Ping Lacson. No, sila Yusek Claire Castro, sila Secretary Dizon. No? Buti may mga ganong klaseng tao na nakikita natin kumikilos, umaaksyon, nagtatrabaho na maayos, mga kababayan. No, sana ganun lahat. No? Yung makuwang tao ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. 'Di ba? Okay, so hanggang dyan muna itong ating video ngayon, mga kababayan. At palawakin natin, no, itong mga pinag-usapan natin sa susunod nating video upload. Muli, maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga patuloy na kasuporta dito sa ating channel. Kita-kits po tayo sa ating next video upload. Dito muli ang inyong Kuya Mobs, it's Mobs TV. Peace and hell.